There's so many things to join with you. I don't know.
I am so sorry. I mean, it's a kind of like a little busy time when I do this, whenever I have these workshops, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry about that. They just kind of gang up really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm glad you made it.
Yes, and of course I love horses, but I love this night scene. That
Yeah, yeah.
once I finish that, I think it's going to be good.
I think you had some really, um, and your drawing was really right there. It's just like a lot of it was just yeah, keep going a little bit farther, tighten it up a little bit, you know, a little more square in the window type things. But
Right.
the thing is, they are distant, so you don't want to be too soft, too harsh with them. So they do have a little bit of a blurred edge to it, but you were right there on that, and I love the good colors. You were smart with the colors, so.
I used an 11 by 14.
You went small.
I did go small.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So we do what we got to do, right?
Yeah. So you got your boat on AIS, your for small works.
Yeah, I got lucky. I get lucky,
Yeah.
That's from South Haven there,
Oh my.
and it's only going up to. All it has to do is travel up to the next town up, and that's where the gallery that's holding it is going to be.
Oh good.
Yeah, going to be on the May 1st, and it's opening, so could be fun.
Are you going to have other paintings there?
Just no, it's just one of those, just one, just
Okay.
the one there. So, and it should be fun. It'd be nice. It's a nice. I've not been into that gallery or tried anything in that area, so it'll be interesting. A lot of national people coming in for it, though. That's a big. There's a lot of big talent got into that show. So,
Okay.
so it should be fun.
Are you still doing Mackinac Island?
Uh I do got to paint a bunch of stuff for it. I got the gallery up there. I do got to start painting stuff, and you'll start seeing that on Saturday and Monday nights. More of those things coming up. So, but hey, okay, let's see. We got 3, 4. There you go. Kim showed. I think there's a couple more showing, but we got the big hitters here for this one. Anyway,
This is not an easy one.
no, not quite that easy. Not quite that easy. It's very interesting though, and I love horses with riders and snow. It's
Yeah.
always it's a good subject. It's an interesting subject. And it should be a lot of fun to paint. Even it could be tough, but that's only because of the person. I mean, the horse, you can get away with a lot of stuff. We're gonna try and give it some extra life while we go through it. The person, I'm gonna keep them kind of ambiguous. I'm not gonna say it's a man or a woman, because I don't think that's a big thing about it. So in the background, the snow's great. The snow, I like the lines in the snow. I like the. Oh, sorry. I guess I should show it to you.
Well, you got mountains there and everything.
We got some mountains in the background. We got a little bit of trees. Trees on the side. We got some snow kicked up, and really nice horse profile. I'm looking at this horse though. It looks like a Clydesdale for some reason. It's probably not. But just because of all the hair
look at the hooves
and the markings going up to the ankles and stuff, up the ankles, and then the white, just that white spot there, and being brown. I go, and I'm not sure how big she is. So maybe she's just not a big person. So it's maybe the horse is just that much dwarfing her a little bit. So, well, let's pull it up and we'll talk about it. But hey, guys, anyway, thanks for joining. We're back here in the studio, and I really appreciate you guys showing up for this one. See if I don't get that in. I can't. I got to get that in.
right.
So, just in case you guys, everybody here knows who I am, knows everything about me and everything. So we'll cut through the chase and go right to the meat of the bone here on this one. Let's pull it up. Of course, it's in black and white, right? Beautiful black and white. Now, just for values, because it's always the most important thing, even the color and stuff. If you can get the colors in the right value, you're halfway there. All you got to do is make sure it's either temperature rise, warm or cool, and if you can get it in the right family. The right family of colors. You get that done, and you're pretty much set. Value wise, this is a tricky one, just because of the snow. Okay, everybody thinks snow is white, bright white, and if you look on here, it's not. Most of it, the highest it gets is a 1, and that's only for a very few highlights in the snow. Maybe a couple that will kick up in here, but that's the bright is 1 we get. Everything else is basically 2s or 3s for the higher spots, and mostly 4s. The shadows, definitely darker. They're going to be in the 7s range, 7s to 6s to 5s, mostly 5s when you get back in here, that area. So that's one of the key things. So we can keep this painting, you know, down here on the ground. So we don't want it too bright. We don't want anything really popping there. As you can see, the biggest thing that pops is the side of the horse's face there in the nose. And again, that's a 2 value right here. That's a 2 value, and 3 for the shading. Keep it so it's not too bright. Gonna keep it dull. The background, the sky back there, that is up there in the it's up there in the 5 range, mostly 5s, and maybe 4s here at the lower part of the sky. Mostly 5s, probably up to even up here, probably closer to a little bit closer to a 6 gradation into it. So color wise, yeah, gonna have a lot of nice colors in there, but getting those nicely separated out, and will really help push the rider forward, since she's wearing such dark browns and stuff like the horse itself. Yeah, talk about that. She's definitely, in this way darker range here of probably close to 8.5s to 9s in the shadow sides. And then on the highlights, nothing more than 7, maybe 6, for the really brighter highlight. Same probably for the hat. The hat's probably mostly 7s and 8s with a little highlight. Then the horse is just a little bit lighter, right? The horse is, if we paint her, we want to keep her dark. We're gonna need, the thing is, since they're riding so tight together like this, a lot of overlap of values coming on here with the hat, the hair, and the ears here, mixing up a little bit. And you got, boots to the sides of the horse that are dark. We're going to have to probably keep those really dark areas there, for we do get separation between the horse and the rider. It's one of those things is you really need to really have those things, clear, so it doesn't leave a question mark maybe in the viewer's head. And that's just really, we can do it with a little bit of temperature, color, and with value. So yeah, keep her leg just a little darker than the horse itself. So if you're keeping that close to an 8, starting with 7s and 8s for here and then going lighter, maybe to 6 for the highlights, will work. You can even see his legs here down here, how light his legs look in the colored photo, but in this section, really, those guys are really right around 7s. Maybe the highlights, you might get up to a 5 on the sides here, but that's about it. So again, you squint at this thing, the nose pops out, and then you start to get the other things. You got to start to get the other light things are right here. There's her arm, controlling the horse, very important. You got a little bit of hat coming through next. Then you also have this little bandana part kind of, moving in the wind. That would be cool. I'm not going to be painting any of the details on that bandana very much, but except for little marks. But I'm not going to be painting too much more than that. Back here, you can see this a little bit of a building-ish back there. You'll be able to see it better in color. But when you have a building like that, you have her. She's basically coming from that direction. You have a lot, to add another chance to add kind of life to the painting and stuff is just a small drift of smoke coming out of there. Could be, something really the buildings. It's really like that. It's probably stable more than anything else. But we can take and make this little area anything we want because we're not really painting that exact scene. We're thinking about how can we enhance this and tell a better story. Little drift of smoke like that coming out of the thing tells you that there's people were there or are there, and that they're so you got a little bit more life to this. So that and tells you they're leading away, they're heading home, type thing. So hey, looking for a story to tell, especially when you're painting traditional things like this, you know, it helps connect with the viewer and it gives you a better chance for a sale. All right, let's go to the color version, what we're really painting. Okay. Like I said, some really nice things going on here. Um, Again, the whites, keep that in mind when we start to get into them, that these, they're not that bright. There's no such thing as zero. Getting to one on this one spot here is really not a, not the big issue. I wouldn't even, you could get where there with a two with a palette knife. I mean, if you put a palette knife on with the number value of a two, of two on your paint color, you put it in with a palette knife, it's going to get brighter. It'll probably make a half step lighter and get you to the one and stuff. So always think about that. Other little things on this thing, like I was saying about really the focus is right up here, right? We're going to end up we're going to get up there, but we also need to get around the painting. It does it pretty well with the way the trees are angled here, that they do create a, move things around and to keep dragging you back around. So that's good. Yeah.
James, quick
Yeah.
question. The one tree there that's right behind her head and everything, would it do better composition wise to just move it over to the little scrubby things and
Yeah.
make it a little taller? Because I left that out of my drawing because I thought it was just gonna maybe take away from her face and the horse's face right there, the
Yeah.
way it was.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It easily could do that if you treat it as real as it looks right here. Um, I was gonna soften it. It was just gonna be a blur. It'd feel probably more like this up here where you can't see. It'd just be a hint of
Yeah.
something, and then
Right.
it'd feel probably more like these kind of trees too. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be anything as strong or anything like this over here, this straight
Yeah.
tree over here. Um, and even the thing here, yeah, you take that away, and that horse is probably not, probably doing a better job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that bit that you just touched under her boot, that was the thing I didn't like. I thought,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I would say,
not, yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an easy tree to slide over here. Uh, Definitely, if you want to do it, I don't want a halo above this horse's head, so you might just bring it all the way over here. And if you do want to bring a taller one in, that's all right. Stack these two together. That's better. Okay. Yeah. So thank you. You helped me figure that one out. And here's this building back here. You can see that back here. And that's what I was saying. Just a little drift of smoke coming up and rising over. And that's the last little details. I mean, but those little added little things can help make a painting at the end. But yeah, the colors on the horse and the rider definitely, if we get in here, separating the browns out, we got some, and pretty interesting. I mean, it's interesting because of this is being, or the horse is a reddish brown, and the rider's in a cooler brown. More has a little more blue in it. So this is a separate. This would be like what I'm going to do is paint the rider heavier in the blue browns with, like, if you had burnt umber in blue, basically that could be her. That could be pretty much the rider's coat. And then burnt sienna in blue, maybe a blue and reds and stuff for the horse would work great. I didn't ask for burnt umber for you guys, but if you do have it, we could put it out. But I do have transparent oxide, and that is like a burnt sienna. And if you put enough blue into it, I can cool it off to get up here. And you can work with it. There's so many different ways to make a color. So it's not a big deal. So that's the tough thing. Yeah, as soon as I said that, then you start seeing the wiring on the horse, all the leathers. Yeah. And separating those out. They are coarse, close. They are like a mix of reds and blues, browns there. One of the things to look for is definitely the thing that gives the shape, really enhances the shape of the horses. When you put these leathers on, or these harnesses on, or these other things, is how they bend and how they catch light. Just the light, breaking at this one spot here, from dark to light right here, really starts to tells you where it is on the body. You because you do have already have it bending a little bit, and then the light, just only come really lightening it up from there to there, and there's that separation into the shadow side. It's always, just really reinforces the dimensionality of the horse. Same with this side over here. You can see the light bend and things. Very interesting. Oh, they're tough to, it's the tightness of those guys that really add a lot of life to this guy, because when you put those guys in, and you deal with the light on top of them, you also got to deal with the shadow they make. And that's the key thing too, that just puts it over the edge of being there and really being on the horse, is that shadow. And especially when it dips into an area like this, and you see it just the shadow go in a little bit. You just got a little bit more shadow there. Or like over here, we got a bigger shadow here, so you can see it's a little bit looser up here on the one thing, and then it's a little bit there, and you got to, this tells you that, yeah, this is where the shoulders connecting. It's right there up in the shoulder area that to transition into the neck. That we're getting a little bit of a concave effect where it's diving in there a little bit. Yeah, separation again. There's, this saddle she's on and stuff. We don't have much. We don't have any big things to do. We got a lot of little nice scratching indication of things here, especially when you get, little things of, leather boots and, parts of the, not boots, but of this thing coming down here, and parts of the saddle showing through here. There are, there's just leather, pieces of thin leather coming down here. So they don't need, a lot of detail. And it's in a weird spot. So these are the kind of little places. It's just a nice indication compared to everything else. You don't get hooked on too much of the stuff in here. You got big areas here. We want to nail. You nail these guys, and all this stuff can just be, like I said, small indications. Same over here. You just get, if you get the foot base, some basic parts of that foot, all the other stuff that comes around it, you can get away with. You can, I mean, not get away with it. People aren't going to be looking there. They're not going to go to the, eyeball it that much. They're going to eyeball the good stuff. They're going to be eyeballing all this stuff up here. And that's, getting the hair right, pulling that hair through. You can cover up a lot of stuff with hair. All right. Hands don't have to be perfect. They just have to be, feel like a block, that they have a shape, that there's a light source and a block. You have a dark side, you have your light side. That's all you need. And then you got a little bit of hair twisting over it. That's just, you could use the hair to, save yourself some anguish. You can't see anything there anyway, so don't concentrate too much on there, or just, it's really more important that we get this. You get this, and you got a block here. Yeah, do that, and you should be good. Of course, you got these beautiful creases in the, wrinkles in the coat here. This duster, beautiful little, strong, nice marks, clean things. This is where a good synthetic brand, when I say good synthetic, it's more on the newer side. It's still holding its edge really well. It hasn't butterflied out too much. So you can make a nice clean mark really close to each other, and get the darks, in there, and then get the lights right on top of them and right next to them. And that's the fun stuff in painting I like to do. I think it's, it just really, shows a lot of good technique when you can get a nice area like this really nice and clean. The horse's head, we got down its nasal cavity here. Got a lot of nice shape here coming down. Nice shadow side to light side. And then, that really separates out that front to the side. A lot of good, should be a nice, fun kind of paint going on there. Look for, this is a kind of a big area. Yeah. And so I'm going to separate it out here as the navel cavity goes right in here. This area here going to be a slightly different color than the front top of the nose, and the forehead's going to be a little cooler. Just try to get that face to come out, so you get the front part of the horse's head here, and then you got the back side coming in here, and then the cool side. So we'll be using a warmer section, the cooler area, trying to give it just some dimensionality so it feels like it leans back. Oh, well, you can't see what that, it looks terrible, but that's what I'm going to try and do, trying to give that nose a little bit more warmth. So the colors are going to be built off each other, but this is going to probably have a lot more red into it, a little bit more red on the red side. This would be probably on the bluer side or greener side. And then back up here, again, a nice neutral mix of the guys, slightly lighter, maybe more, but still on the cooler side. I'm looking at that. I'd say definitely phthalo green and oxide brown, or light oxide a red, transparent oxide red, mixes there. Just because of the warmth down in here, I see just a little tinge of yellowish color in there, but there's green. And then a good mix of the two here, probably more green. And then probably an even mix up there, so you can't tell which comes out of it. It's more of a neutral, maybe a touch more white, but not by much. So it just folds back a little bit space-wise. The rider. Okay, this is the tough one. Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm not really going to concentrate on being a girl or a guy. I was talking about the handkerchief she's wearing around her neck here, or the bandana. Just not like steal the folds type thing, steal the folds, but don't, or maybe change the color, maybe. But it's a floral pattern on the thing. So if you don't do that, you don't put that in there, you can say whoever this is. But really the highlights on her face again are nice, simple highlights, nice and clean, good nose line, just enough indication in a painting to say it's stuff. If this was a guy, I'd probably come down and just add just a little bit, touch more jaw, square jaw, just there, just bring this light around to that's down there too. Up here, you could get away with everything. The teeth are not really a big deal too. If you just, close the mouth, you'd be fine. The hat feels a little bit big for her, but cowboy hats are huge. They are big. So it's like, maybe it's just me. And I'm looking pretty close too. But just the separation, and then the difference between wearing a hat and not wearing a hat. The lower part of her face definitely catches a lot more light. The hat's protected her eyes and stuff, so this top part of her head up there to her bridge of her nose are catching a little, it's a little more, they're more on the yellow side than the red side. Of course, down in here, the pigment of the rest of her face has picked up a lot of more red over the time, and it could be just cold too. But that would be is a thing you see on cowboys all the time when they take their hats off. They have that really, well, even with me, when I take off my hat, you got a pretty nice line where the shadow, the hat's been protecting the top of the head there. Hey, I'm just saying that little things to look for, to separate this out. And I wouldn't even say, we're going to probably take it a little bit easy on the face too. We're not going to get heavy duty into eyeballs or nostrils or lips or anything like that. We're going to try and keep kind of an overall feel that they kind of match the painting style of the coat and the horse itself, where we're not going to be like honing in that deeply. I mean, the hat has some really nice turns in it. That really feels like a cowboy hat. Nice sides to it. So that should be fun.
Jim, can I ask a quick question about the horse's coat? The sort of right there, that to the right of the harness in the photo where it goes a bit white. Below that harness, go down.
Oh,
yeah, right in.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a roan, and I'm wondering how you're going to do that. Is that a
roan?
Is that
what do you mean a roan?
Well, that's what you call that when that color looks like that a little bit. But I mean, are you going to use a bristle brush for that? Is that how you're
Yes.
going to do that?
Oh,
Okay.
that would be fun with a bristle brush.
That's what that is. All right.
Definitely you want to get the simplest way to paint this thing is the way we oil paint's meant to be. It's paint dark to light.
Right. Okay.
Right. And you get the darks in, you get the muscles in, you get everything else. And way this guy's going too, we'll be painting his feet at the end, dragging him down there, getting the the fur and stuff on at the end here,
Yeah, and the
coming back on
flick.
the side. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Hmm.
And that's when we'll come back in and put this stuff in.
Okay, so
Definitely.
that's tomorrow.
Well, it could be, we'll drop in a few drops today, hopefully, but we want to, make sure that they're not too bright. I'd say really watch. We looked at this thing that yellow, these ochres and stuff down in here are pretty dark. So let's not give too many highlights away. Control our highlights, and you'll control the painting a lot more. Yeah, definitely the back leg there has a nice strong highlight on it. That will help good separation there. We do have a problem back here though. You mean you got this back leg and this front leg, basically in the same spot. One's got to give, and it can't be the front leg because the front leg has to catch the front part of the snow, keep the action moving. So this back leg, definitely little areas here, like this area here where you get the back heel showing coming through here a little bit, or back of his ankle showing through here, behind here. Gonna be confusing because of this other ankle next to it, because of that. It's going to ask you for some certain information that's you don't have anything to provide. So I would say, this would be one thing I'd probably get rid of. Wouldn't worry about that. Back in here, definitely, even in here, you start to get a little lost between what's this leg and what's this leg back in here. So always lean towards the front leg on things. Just makes it simple. You just do that and don't even worry about this back leg, and no one will ask about it. We're going to be the only ones to even know it was even there. I was looking for tail on this one. Sorry, I was looking for the horse's tail here, and I didn't really see anything. So it might be bobbed or something back there. You think? I'm not sure. Uh, but there aren't. You might be a nice effect to have a tail come out of here too. But that would be a last little thing. If let's see how the design really goes. Nice, really, again, design wise. Nice lead in here. We got some nice snow. Got some nice, beautiful little lines here, shadow lines that are going to hold this horse down in place for us in the painting. Those shadows, looking at how beautiful they are there. There's that grayed out blues, basically little light oxide red and blue, mostly blue, just a little bit oxide red going in there. That's probably going to be one of the key colors in this whole painting is oxide red and blue. You could almost paint 3/4 of the painting with that. You could get the sky out of it. You can do everything. So that's, always a nice one to think about. That's going to be a nice one. Always lean back on, because it kind of pulls, this into her coat, and into the hair and, all over the painting, even back in here and in the sky. So, it's a good, good lean on, that color. Okay. Also, a few things here. Make sure that these guys have just a little bit of a, bend to them so they're not too straight with the painting. It's okay to have a couple at the bottom, as long as you have something leading you in so we don't get stuck here at the bottom of painting in the stripe, that, we are moving back the painting back into that area, so. And then this guy back in here, he's very lonely. I think there was another tree next to it, so I was thinking, I don't want too much over here, but I usually don't like a spot like that in the painting, a spot that's not, just it's just too much of a rectangle going straight up your painting on the sides there. Shapes like that are kind of recognizable. I mean, even this being a rectangle down here is okay, because it's broken up, where this isn't broken up. So I was thinking it does have a little tree, maybe over here a little bit, maybe just a little bit more action here, just to get rid of this area here a little bit. So calm it down. Sometimes the best thing is just make an X in it until it gets you, past that stage, that spot. X with the paint even. Just tells the person not to look there. Don't get caught up in here. We'll see. I'm always just thinking out loud for a lot of times, just trying to see where I think some other problems could be. The sky could be kind of too boring too, but we do have a nice, little cloud bank maybe moving in a little bit up there too. Those guys just enhance the hair, maybe, and just, just softly gradate it out into the sky too, a little bit farther. We'll make something. The trees all go in at the end. Do not get caught up into any trees, even the ones we're talking about back there. Any of this stuff, don't even think about it. We got shadows to put in. We got other stuff first. Those guys will come in at the end. They're nothing but a scratch. So we'll be taking care of pretty much everything today, blocking it in from the snow to the hill, to the sky, to the horse and the rider. But, I'm not going to worry as much about the snow exactly. The blue, we'll see how far we get. And same with the sky. Okay, we're going to work on the rider mostly today, but we're going to still make paint for everything else too. All right. Any questions? Nice. It's a simple image, but complicated to paint. You got a horse, you got a rider, you got snow, you got atmosphere and stuff like that. But it will be rewarding at the end. I mean, I think this is going to be a very nice painting. Okay. Let's get over to where we need to go. Oh, 1 second. Let's close that out. And we'll get over to this. So, all right. Colors. Yeah, definitely synthetics. Like I said, I have my rosemaries out here. Some of my new ones. They will come in really handy on the coat and things like that. Of course, my big brush will do 3/4 of the painting. Then bristle brushes, I'm going to use even smaller ones. Sometimes I have this little scratch of one here. It buried to like a number 2 and it doesn't have much bristles left on it. It's really like a stub. That comes handy making branches and trees and stuff at the end. If you use them in the right color, sometimes you can get a nice blend into the sky, so you don't have it doesn't feel like you work too hard. It's a nice little brush to have. So, or things like that. But smaller synthetic, a newer one, good for especially the leather parts when you need a nice clean line against the horse. yeah, we might be using some nice bristle brushes on that horse. Definitely on his ankles, his fur ankles. So keep those around. Paint eraser. I use this thing constantly. Um, and it's great for when we got kicking up snow because it will give you a couple different snows. You can at least, put it in instead of putting it in with a brush or something like that. I usually put the last pieces in with my knife, but I'll mark out where I think it's going to go with this first because it's easy to fix. Basically, because all I'm doing is moving paint, removing paint, and the same colors are still around where I removed it from. So it's always a finger move to fix if I've taken it out too much or something like that, made it too big. So it's very convenient. So knife is going to come in handy at the end for little teeny hairs and other things. Color wise, my palette hasn't really changed ever. I still got titanium white out here. I got cad yellow light. Not, sometimes snow, sometimes the lighter areas in his muzzle and things like that. It might come in handy for. Second. Uh, might come in handy for in here, some yellows, warms. I have ochre for that too. But cad red light, definitely could see that. Definitely in the shoulders areas and stuff around the sky. Cat orange too. Could be a lot of places. Might even be in a hat. I can see that hat could definitely. It could either be. We got ochre here. Sorry, just ochre, yellow ochre. We have light oxide red. Now this is going to be probably, like I was saying, one of the key colors in the painting. Definitely could see painting a horse this way with on the red side and painting with adding a lot more blue to it, to the mix, and doing blue and not light oxide and heavier in the blue side doing the coat. And so at least the insides. Then you just lighten it up. You're going to get really close to this blue here too, because it's just a little warm and it has a little grayness to it. Back mountains, definitely going to be there. Even in the sky, maybe. Anyway, we're going to try and push it a little bit, have a little fun. So yeah, light oxide red, alizarin crimson. Alizarin crimson, great color here. It's going to be, in here too. Definitely could be in the creases of all these clothes and stuff. With blue, here's blue, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green on the blue side. Transparent oxide here. I have some transparent oxide here out. And I do have some there, cad red medium. And over here it's not burnt sienna. Or burnt umber. Sorry, burnt umber. It's not burnt umber, but it's like burnt umber. It's basically it's a transparent oxide brown. Plays a lot just like burnt umber. Burnt umber just has problems with drying, and that's why I kind of stay away from it. It dries too fast and cracks paintings. If you're painting on a panel, it doesn't do it as much, so I shouldn't be that big a deal. When we're talking, 100 years from now. So as long as they don't dig me up and want me to refix it, I'm fine. All right. Let's start mixing some colors. All right. I'm going to just go for some easy ones. Going to go start off with blue. A couple blue spots. And on I'm going to go with light oxide red. So I know that's in there. So we'll go with no brainers. This is going to be on the red side.
Which is Venetian.
Venetian. Could be Venetian or Terra Rosa. Sorry.
I always get the Utrecht brand.
That's okay. They make great color. This one was supposed to be on the blue side. And it's really right down the middle. That's a pretty good. You might need that color, so I'm just gonna tighten up my space here. I'm just gonna do another blue. Now this is gonna be more on the blue side.
Jim, where do you think these are going?
These guys, when you lighten them up, they're gonna be the stripes in the snow. There'd be the mountains. At these darks, definitely they could be in anything in these creases here in the
Of her
in the
coat.
folds and so, and maybe
Okay.
into the boots, little things like that. But when you get them to a mid-tone, definitely in the back mountains. And if you keep it on the blue side, like this one might be, with white in it, when you just push enough white into it, you might get really close to what the, definitely I know we're going to get the shadows down here. You might even get the sky without having to, going too far. So this is just blue and light oxide red or Venetian or Terra Rosa. And then this is on the mid-tone, kind of more of a straight mix of both of them. This is definitely on the red side. That just happened. I usually would have just went in between, but sometimes I would have used up a ton of blue just trying to get this one in there. And it also, this color could definitely be up in there. Couple other colors in blue and stuff I want to do. I'm going to go transparent oxide, red. So this is the transparent oxide red, and that is the regular light oxide red. Always confusing, isn't it?
Which could be burnt sienna.
Could be burnt sienna.
Oh.
Could be burnt sienna. This is the blue side of the color. This is going to be the red side, but dark. Now, I like this color. Again, one of the darker kind of warms we can get. That when these dark warms really penetrate. And that's where I was saying, yeah, you could probably get away with this because this is a warm, but that will shoot back farther. Again, when it's put against the other colors. So that's why I was thinking this one definitely for like in armpit going down the back there in the coat, little areas that need to go farther back where you can see farther deeper. Might be good for the eyes too. The horse's eyes type things because they are just a touch warm and dark. And it's good for could get into the hair. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we got a few colors here. That should get us pretty far. I'm thinking I want to do one more though. And if you have burn umber, that'd be great. If you have burn umber, everybody should have burn umber. It's not just one of those colors, but I'm not going to be using burn umber. I'm using light oxide red brown, which is just basically burn umber, but it, like I said, doesn't carry the cracking later on. So this would be a cooler brown. And I'm not exactly sure how strength between it and the blue is. I'll take it a little bit easier on this one. Make sure I have one on it on the brown side. So when I come down here, you can see that's on the brown side. This is the difference. Not a whole lot. This is a little redder. So this being a little redder, but then you got the blue side too. So that's maybe I could have just done one. I don't know. Other colors I like to have. I'm just gonna have because I gotta have. Or again, light oxide in green, phthalo green. This color, if you can get a nice mix of both of them together.
Is this the burnt sienna again?
Yeah, it could be your burnt. Well, it's light oxide or
Venetian?
Venetian.
Oh, I gotta write this down, but I don't have time because I'm too busy mixing paints.
Quick, mix paint. I know. I'm taking my time. I'm slow here today. We got all day tomorrow. So I'm just make sure one's on each side. This is getting better. See where it could go. Yeah, definitely. I still think it's coat. At least when it has on the green side, it goes coat. Goes red.
Jim,
Definitely.
is there room for some orange in these, or are you gonna use like a cad red in that next in that?
Probably. I was going to hit some cad red.
Hmm.
What do you mean? Yeah, for the as it lightens up. But I'm also trying to see what darks in the translation or transitions of when we add white to it, what colors what and stuff. So yeah, I could definitely see some in the shoulder areas of this guy warming up, some more reds and stuff. But I was going to be mixing the horse just a little separate too. I'm just looking for like darks that could be in the coat and into the horse itself. And then when we go a little bit farther here, we'll see what colors we really got to mix up on the horse. So I'm just going to go with these for now. I think these are going to get me a long ways. Wait. Phthalo green and alizarin, of course. I am just hedging my bet on the shadows. Shadows of things. I'm thinking maybe maybe that the shadow in the snow could be just a little cooler, or it might look a little different than I like to get there a few different ways, have a couple options. Sometimes it just gives you some depth. So okay, I'm gonna go with those two. So that's phthalo green and alizarins mixed together. Pretty much, definitely can tell the ones on the green side. Maybe that's too much. Definitely ones on the alizarin side. We'll see. We'll add white to it and see how far we have to change and pull it back. Up here, I'm gonna bring this. This is blue and light oxide down. And then another oxide, more oxide. So these first three are blue and light oxide. And then we have transparent oxide, red with blue. And then we have transparent brown with blue or burnt umber. and blue. Make great grays, fabulous grays. Then we have green and light oxide. Then we have green and alizarin. Key to this painting value wise, let's go around the horse. It's probably gonna be around, let's go 8. I'm gonna go keep it a little dark. Keep it so we're just gonna add enough paint to each pile. Take it to an 8. This is my blue pile. Yes, a hair dark. A little hair dark of 8. Not by much. And that's really close. In fact, if you wanted to play with it, need to lighten it up a little more. Definitely shadows in the very foreground. This is the color. It could be the color. That's the thing. Then this is, that was a lot of white I just added into this color. Oh, well. This, as you can see, turns purple. Definitely in a lot of the leather and chest area. It's really close to this too, except for it's just a little more too cool. So let's see what happens. Value wise, how did I do? Right there. Wow. Okay. That was crazy. That shouldn't have been there. This is just a little bit more on the red side. So I was thinking these colors are going to be key to the painting. Yeah. Yeah, it's not warm enough for a coat, but it's warm enough for all these leathers. You could see it a little bit back in the mountain, and a little bit lighter. I think it's going to be fine for maybe clouds in the sky. We'll see. So I'm trying to see if I can take this blue that bright too. But let's take these rest of these colors up to 8. This is a transparent oxide and blue. This is on the transparent side. Definitely a warmer brown. And when you add white to it, definitely could be the highlights in this coat. I just need to take it just a hair higher, lighter. So that's kind of nice. So we got the coat. This dark here, grayed out part and stuff. Let's see where it goes. See, this is what happens. This is what a beautiful mix when we're right down the middle. And you got both equally in there. You get a nice gray.
And that, I think I'm using burnt sienna, so
That's
it's not turning out that way.
um
Add a more blue or something.
on this one.
Yeah,
That one, is it too bright or is it too brown?
it's too brown.
Yeah. Just a touch more of the blue into it. If nothing else, just mix them up. If you have your blue side's too strong, you can always steal a little bit from here and bring it over too and gray it out. Like this one's really blue. I mean, on the blue side, beautiful gray. Oh man, there's going to be touches for it, but it's not going to be again too full. So what I'm going to do is just going to add just a little bit more to it, just to either. I think it's that blue's not going to. The blue's not really in the painting, so I'm just going to add a little more brown to it. take it onto a brown side. Just gonna be slightly warm gray. There we go. So it's a warmer gray. That's a cool gray. The warmer gray can get into her pants, in her leg, and definitely her hat. You know, these guys could almost do her hat too. Just looking for things, where it could go. It might even go back here in this little dark area behind the house, back here by the house. That lightened up might be the house, really close to it. Oh, that was a lot of white. This is the my burnt umber and blue. Uh, gosh, cooler than that. It's funny. I was looking at them up here, and I was saying this is cooler than that one, but then really kind of flip over here when I come down. Definitely in the horse. Definitely could be in the horse. This could be a base color for the horse. That'd be nice. And it might still be too close. This is a good, just like that. It is a nice gray. Could definitely start to see it down here in the things, but I think it's almost too gray. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just go for a middle tone. A little bit more red to it. And then definitely could use that. So it's just a little more gray. There we go. Sometimes I'll just hedge the bet at the end. So I have something else, one more to play with, just in case the other one just needs to be a little more subtle. Definitely can probably start to get the horse out of there. Like we said, like Kim was mentioning, using cad reds and stuff. Definitely could take a piece of this, start adding just a touch of cad red to it. Up here, this kind of color. Definitely you get that shoulder out of that. We'll do that in a minute. But we can have this. We got the phthalo green and line oxide. Oh, this is on the oxide side. I really didn't put much green into it. Wow, that stayed really cool. That could be back in, when was I saying? I was thinking this for the horse, and then this cooler stuff farther back. Let's see what happens here. This is the green side. Barely see any green coming through. That's again really nice grayed out color, but it's not, didn't I kind of didn't push the green very much. I added red to this and added way too much alizarin. The phthalo green should have just kicked the snot out of this color. It shouldn't have been. There you go. A lot of grays, a lot of gray greens. You know, definitely, I'm probably just covering my bases on a few of these colors. Blue grays and greens. This green definitely not a big player. Gonna be a big player at all in the painting. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna blue it, do what I did there, and just purple it out a little bit. Yeah. Now these two should assist. Now you can see it's really purple. Well, that might be nice in the snow. These colors here, just a hair lighter. Right now they're at 8s. You know, if we take them, you know, there might even be 9s. Light them up a little bit. Quite that much. There's always a couple that are going to jump out at you. This one should be on the greener side, but I like this, the purple side. So I'm going to say that's the green side because it's just basically the same colors when we come down here in the midtones. This is the purple side. You can see the red in it. Now you can compare to this one. This one has a little more green into it. Both those colors. It's hair lighter. There we go. Definitely might be able to get it into the snow. Speaking of the snow, I'm going to come back here to this blue and take a piece of it. This is not for snow all of a sudden, but it's going to be for more for the shadows here. So I'm just going to add just a touch of white to it to lighten it up a hair more. And then I'll be able to use that and these guys all together in the shadow areas here. So I'll probably be able to get some good depth. Even this, you know, them being that close together, sometimes color like this one will come forward just because it has more color in it. And then these grayed out ones will recede compared to it. And then you're going to need some little bit lighter ones here and there to bring out some color in the back. I was thinking back in here, maybe. I'm going to do the same here. Just what color, what did I take that up to? These reds here. Let's take them all up to, yeah, I would say probably around 5. Let's take a few colors up here to 5. What I'm going to try and do is just, like again, kill the light, kill the color a little bit, gray it out. With enough white, I can gray it out a little bit. That might be too bright. I'm thinking, you know, back in here, back behind the trees, little spots, might end up being needing a little bit more blue in it. Anyway, that's pretty good. I'm going to lighten up again these guys to 5 too. I just have to. I try not to do all this stuff. But when you're doing a painting like this, where there are more little things to it, sometimes, just getting it right, simple, now will speed the painting up. It'll help you see the details because, how many times I'm doing smaller details in the hats or something like that, and you just find out you're doing it the wrong warmth. It's not warm enough. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. We're still going to have to do the high key colors, but these guys, you're going to find you can get away with a lot of stuff. This could be pants right here in these colors. Good. Got these guys too. I might have to probably mix something for the sky. A little bit more blue in there because I was looking at that. Usually could be as easy as phthalo. Phthalo green added in. What I'm looking also for when I get to this area here, I'm looking for the snow color. It's a warm, sunny day, so it should be on the warm side. It might have, even though doesn't mean it doesn't have some blue in it. So it should be on the warmer side. Sometimes these phalos green, because it's green with a lot of white, will take and get you there. Let me see. Okay. I think it has just a touch more red to it. So it might be over here. Here. Really could be this color. Just these two mixed together, just a middle, more mix. Just a more mid-tone mix. Probably that one up there with white. Touch red. Touch red. Yeah, to the green side. Maybe. I don't know. I just gotta one of those key colors, if I can find it here. That's a little warmer, and it's kind of a grayed out white, warm side. And I put it up there and it goes, it wants to be a little cooler. So that would be this one. Yeah, okay. All right. Let me mix up a little bit more of that. So the phthalo and Liz remix going to be the light part of the snow. That means I'll probably stay with the blue side for shadows. Definitely. I mean, I'll use some of these guys as grayed up colors in the back. But I'll use the strength of these guys really against this warmth, just this little warmth of phthalo green. Thanks. I'll be able to use those guys here and there too, probably. Definitely can find spots for it. You know, all right, horses colors. I'm going to look through here and just see which ones are really going to hit. And I definitely got to be on the redder side of the color, the warmer red side, not the cooler side of the red. These are cool. So these guys here would be coat and rider colors. This one is closer to the reds, warmer reds, but I think they're almost too close to these guys. So I'm going to go and cheat a little bit, and we're going to go more towards the dark side or the green side. So I'm going to go phthalo green and light oxide. Got a strong light oxide side, and we got a green side, a warmer green side for that. Doing the horse. Base colors. So I'm going to take this color. It is right now at 10. It needs to come up to probably 8, just like that. I added just a hair more red, oxide red to it. because I wanted the red to really kind of pop a little bit. I want to get a good separation from that. It's okay if it's not exactly the color of the horse, as long as I match values. That is not a value. That is the chest color, but it wasn't supposed to go this light. I had a lot of white on my knife and carried over. So I had the green back into it. Oh, got it. That was a ton of green. Put some more oxide in. See, I was trying to get these guys for the nose too. I might have to do one more color too. Transparent oxide and green. There you go. That's the green side. Definitely all over that horse. So we got a little bit of the base tone going here. Some of the things. And that's where I'm going to take and split this pile up. One I'm going to put cad red, and one I'm going to put cad orange in. So cad red, warm it up. That might be too much. Okay. And then cad orange. Wow, that looks a lot closer to what I need. With the darker areas, the purple, these guys, grayed out areas, gonna save some there. I'm gonna add green. Well, I'm gonna add alizarin to one side, cooler side. Gonna keep them really cool. Oh, that's a good color. That's good color. And then just blue on the other side, maybe. I got a little bit of everything. A lot of these colors, are about the same. But I'm looking for them intensity wise coming down to the next area. Light wise, I'm going to take these guys to probably around these are supposed to kind of like 8s. So if I go to 6, I'd be good. So you can see the coolness start to come out of this one. This is the cad red side. It's in there. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot though. Then you got the orange side. Might have to add more orange to it. Sometimes the white just kills the color, but that's really close to what I want. And like I said, I'm not going to add just a touch more cat orange to it to lighten it. There we go. I'm going to add just a touch of cat orange to this one too. This one's a dead. I put too much oxide or cad red into it. So it just kind of went on the red side. Needs to be just slightly orangier. So brought it back. There's your color. That's pretty good. This one's probably I'm going to add just again, same thing I did below. Just a touch more warmth to it. It's just, even the red's didn't lighten it as much as I was hoping it would. That's a nice rich color. And that's your horse colors. This is some of the grayed out stuff. What we need now is just the highlights of the horse. And we're gonna get those guys probably from any of these beige browns and greens we got up here. The blue and the oxides and the greens in the oxide, or no, that's not green. That's blue and the other well, basically oxides here. I'm gonna add some white to them, just a touch. Clean them up. Maybe I have to add again orange or yellow ochre. Yeah, yellow ochre. I don't want to, you know. These guys are going to take probably up to 2s and 3s. And I'll look at it here and see how it is. That's not too bad. That's a good color for the back leg. It's not too. It's kind of a cool white. A cool yellow white, kind of beigey, kind of a little bit. And then we got some of the richer stuff coming through there. I'm just missing that, but we'll get it. I think it's going to come from this stuff. And then the last thing I want to do is get the sky. I'm going to go back here again, steal a little bit of this blue purple or blue and light oxide. As you can tell, it's pretty close value, just a touch off, not by much. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit more. I'm going to add just a hair of phthalo green to it. And I'll probably split this pile up and do a few things to it. Yeah, that might have peaking it. Yeah, I took it too far value-wise. When I added the white, I'm going, that was pretty close. I shouldn't have added white. So I'm just going to add the blue back in. So this is really all this color is going to do is cancel out a little oxide red. As you can see, it's almost there, just a little dull. Phthalo green will just bring that iridescence back into it. It's just very light though, just not too strong. Touch more, just a hair more. Too much. All right. Yeah, that's really close enough. All right. Hopefully I have. Okay. That was funny. That was really funny. Got the color right. I got enough for 2 brushfuls. And I'm painting, have to paint kind of big today for you guys. So I have to make a little bit bigger color here. I don't think I might kind of made that kind of dark, so I'm not gonna. I don't want to use up all my white. Well, yes, I do. This color here is just going to have basically be without any oxide red into it, which this one has a little oxide red. So you can see how clean this color is. And you can see if I just keep coming with that color a little bit, you get these guys the same value. It's just going to be slightly richer. Just that little light oxide red into this color. Just knocked it out. Did a good job. All right. We'll be able to use those guys together. And then we'll be able to use these guys a little bit. I think I'm there. we have enough color. This stuff too, sometimes, well, a lot of times I was saying I was going to find, you're going to find it maybe back in here. You might have to gray it out. Yeah, you might. Okay, I'm going to go over the colors while you guys are still mixing. And I'll try to remember what I did. We started off with blue and light oxide red here, these two, a little warm red and a thing. Put them together. This went on the red side. This did not go on the blue side far enough, so I had to split the pile and really push the blue, but didn't want to get rid of that because it has this, it's a warmer red and it's a little darker than that one. So it's like, let's keep it. I'm always looking, little creases and things. Maybe, it'll work out. So we added white to about 8, and then we took it to about a 5. Over here we did again blue and transparent oxide. Coming down here, you can see the blue side and then you can see the brown side, the oxide side. Over here we did a different one. We did light oxide brown, and that it's like a burn umber. So burn umber and blue. Burn umber side, blue side, really blue. Mixed up between the two, we got this color, just a little bit more brown, and then we lighten them up. Then we did over here. We did light oxide red and phthalo green. It's a nice color, and when I kind of stayed on the red side. So even when you come down here, this is like just on the green, barely gray green side. But this is more on the red side. Coming down here to about 5s down in here. We're going to probably have to go up a little bit brighter. I hadn't, we did a little bit of snow here too. We did phthalo green and alizarin and coming down. I want to keep a lot of alizarin side, not so much green showing through. So I added a lot more alizarin on this side, which was the green side, but now it became the alizarin side. And then this kind of stayed more neutral. And coming down here, you can see how neutral they are. They make a great color for the snow. The light of the snow. It's going to come in really handy for this area here. It's cool, yet it has the green warmth, So it's just a little bit, and then the two going together, just kind of shake a little bit. So it's kind of cool. Horse colors. We started working on some horse colors and some other grayed out colors. We started up here with phthalo green and light oxide red. Took a piece of that, brought it down here. I added some more red to it too down here, trying to get a little more intense. I took the pile and split it into 2 other ones. This one I use is cad red light into it, and this one I put cad orange in. Cad orange warmed it up a little bit more than the red did. Now, because I'm working on reds, it's on the red side. It's not going to move too much, but it didn't do as. Yeah, I was hoping to get this color from that one, and then this one being probably warmer. Probably could have used orange and yellow, and it probably worked fine too. We didn't do skin color. Yes, we did. It's gonna look just like the horse. And we lightened those guys up with some white. Over here, we took the green side, phthalo green and oxide side, just a slightly grayer side. One I added alizarin to, one I added blue to, just to give you some other variations of it. When I get there, maybe they come in the legs, something like that. Find things. Let's see. And then I took all the lighter versions up here, these blues with oxide, trans oxide in them. That's these guys, and brought them down here and add a bunch of light to them, trying to get closer to the face here. One color I would also say to do, but I did not mix up any really light colors. We don't need too many more lights. Ochre and white. Ochre and white. See, it goes right in there. Just a little bit more white if I have it. Lighten it up just a hair more. I can use that for the nose here. Probably could go just a little ochre. All I need is one brush full. Might have to put just a touch. No, it stays cool. And then we did the sky, the blue and the phthalo green. Well, first one here, this one, I started over here with this one, really close to the value color I needed. It just wasn't strong enough. So I added a little bit of phthalo green to it. I got it to about the right color. It almost matches. It has a little oxide in it though. So it's a little grayer color. I got that done and I just said, that's great, but it's going to be half the painting, and I got a brush stroke, so I had to mix up another color. Basically, I just took out the oxide and just did phthalo green and blue, and just a hair of this color. I didn't really clean my knife, and then added white. Add enough white to get to the same value, which is pretty close to 5. Yeah, closer to 5. And that's it. I mean, we did take these phthalo green and the alizarin all the way up to pretty close to 3s. We'll see how we go. See if we have to mix any colors. I don't think we will today. So let me get my things in the right order, and we'll go. This back up for you. Coming back. Oh, I didn't ever turn that down, did I? Shoot. Let's do that now. You can see all the colors, so just a little boring. All right. The camera's rolling. Like I said, I'll try to get this in as close as I can get it. Not going to be too close because it's painting kind of a big vertical, 24 by 18. Also, I want to get that in there. So slide it over. Make sure it's in there. All right. I got enough room. I am going to tone this canvas with light oxide or oxide red, or is that Venetian in some of you? I think that would be it'll gray out all the colors a little bit too. And I think that'll be okay. Keep it little, it's okay in the middle of the painting where the the landscape is here, heavier, and where the horse is going to be. And then I'm just going to use a little bit more oil. I'm still going to rub this thing out anyway. You know. Just make all that. So put that oxide back in that one color. I took it out of. Oh boy, yeah. Let's get rid of this stuff. Let's give it a nice tone. And then we'll lay it out. I'm thinking about laying it out as I did this to tone it, just to make it a little easier on the white area. Can be a little darker at the bottom. Doesn't have to be too much. Some of that. A lot of times this color is really going to be close enough even for the light in the snow, so not a big deal. Okay. Let's get rid of that. All right. Drawing it out, laying it out. We want a little bit more room at the bottom than at the head. I want to keep it a little bit different, so probably maybe 4 inches, a little bit there, and then right about there. I looked at it, it's probably about here and goes to about over halfway. Okay, so in this area, even looking at this, let's give that horizon here, since we got a mountain back here, kind of goes up like this and does this, back in here. Let's take this thing and just slant it a little bit more, maybe. I can always change it, just slant it and then let the shadows straighten it out. So it just drops off a little bit, a little hump, drops off. Okay. And then we got where we're coming in from. Good to have it come in from this corner here and lean into the painting. You got a nice big dark spot there for the shadow, reflective going through. And these guys, like I said, just if you could just give them a little bit so they, tilt to them so they're not too even with the bottom. It's okay with this one. You might even just turn this one going that way a little bit. Yeah, it does anyway. Just give it a little bit more room there. Okay, so the feet's going to go right in here, go up here. Well, that's pretty close to the top of her hat right here. I'm thinking. Right in there. Her head. She's pretty straight. Like I said, she's pretty straight. Like I said, you never know if she'll stay that way. We'll make her a guy at the end. And just for the painting. We don't have to do it in real life. That'd be tough. Everything comes pretty much straight down. You see that her head. You get that size for her head here, and comes down to, the opening of her coat. Pretty much comes straight down. Got a little bit of a thing, but not much at all. And shoulders. Just a little bit of arm comes out, stuff like that. Should be laying the horse out a little bit too as I go. So sometimes just getting angles when I start looking at angles where everything goes. Definitely starts to tell me where the horse's head is. Coming down. Come down about here. Maybe just a little bit farther. Pretty much that, so about there. Got ears coming up too. One of the things I don't really worry about ears that much, just because of got paint around them and stuff like that. Let's get the head in here. Just a little bit tighter. Okay, the nasal cavity. Just got a little bit of, oh, wrong place, wrong, up here. Too much. Okay. This hair right there. So not exactly sure where that is yet. And then you start working on the side of his head here a little bit, drawing it out. Come down here. It just opens up again for the nose from here. Most of you guys know this stuff because you guys have drawn very nice horses in the past. So I hate repeating myself, but you just got to do it. Yeah. One of the things I'm trying to do is I am drawing it from an angle, but stretching out this head a little bit more than I would think it would go. Basically, because I know myself a little bit and I've done so many squatty heads and had to redo them. I'm just thinking about that on this one a little bit, taking into consideration about things, trying to judge a little bit better my drawing. But we always, I always mention this, that we also have the digital check if we need to in our back pocket. If you've, just to take and get that last little thing out of your head that maybe it doesn't look right, the horse doesn't look right, something's wrong, and you can't figure it out. That's always a good little thing to, you always have in your back pocket to think about. I'll send that out to you guys. I send it out to you on all the workshops, but just in case, I'll send it out again. Get this leg in here. A little bit of an angle off the leg. Should almost come down, these guys almost, angle off that chest area. And if you keep going, you're probably going to, the boot bottom of the boot should be right there. And right off the leg here should be the back leg too coming out. Coming back in now, into the painting. All right. And then a little wider. That's back leg. Front leg. Front leg comes from back in here, her leg, where her knee would be kind of, up here, where her knee comes in right here. Leg comes in and it goes pretty much, you draw right down that line. Right where that drip went. That's where this leg has to end up. So we got, let's get that chest muscle up there and the neck starting in here, coming down here to right about here. So this has to come over angle wise. Okay. Right here, and then it keeps coming a little bit, and I hit it. Back leg, front other leg comes over, shoulder. Oh, shoot. All right. It's more dark here. Yeah, there you go. Tighten it up. Okay. Just didn't have the leg wide enough. Right. So this comes down in here, and then this explosion of hair and stuff around the hoof. This guy doesn't get much back there, but just got to get his knee in here a little bit. Let's get the separation right there. That knee popping forward. And that looks good. Probably just, it's okay to be up just a little thin on probably the legs. Probably going to be short too. I usually am. That's why I was just hedging my bet. And then you have to stretch. Okay. All right. Like I said, the trees are not going to put in. She does have her. Well, I'll have to look at this. This, yeah, this should right down this line here of the side of the head down here. This body just comes out a little bit. Yeah, that line should make the leg here. These should be pretty even too, slightly. Okay. nose type things on the horse. Mark out spot. Do I have enough here for? Okay. I'm not going to do much for the face right now. This color's almost going to be good enough for a long time. Just give me over a color. This is light oxide. Just a little bit of the face and hint of the nose. Tighten up the head here, and then basically add some hair. We can get back from it. I'd love to be able to get back from it and see more. Get in front of it and see more too. I'm just drawing an angle so much. Okay. Well, we know miles to get on it, right? Got something here.
It looks like a man, and mine does too.
Hey, there you go. It's all about the horse anyway. You get the horse to look right, and you're set. I'm just, gonna should get in front of it at the end here and just, make it work.
I have to run, Jim, but I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. All right. You want to show your work before you go, or you want to just?
Okay. All right.
Sure. We'll see where you are.
It's you can see it real good. Let's see.
No. Look at that. You already blocked it in. You don't even wait for me. Good girl. You went really, you pushed the the horse really well. The rider yeah, you're right. He looks like he looks human. Guy, girl, I'm kind of, doesn't make a difference right now. We're not at that point to decide. But the horse looks good. Nice job on that. And it's laid out well. You got a block in already. Congrats.
I scrubbed out that fourth leg. It was
Yeah,
too,
the back one.
yeah,
Yeah.
too confused.
It doesn't need to be there. It's just, you got two front legs crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough for us. That's enough trouble as it is. You don't, and if you keep them, these two guys a little too tighter, you can even minimize that back there a lot more even. So,
Well, that's a good idea.
so don't even think about it. You got a nice highlight. You don't want, that's the thing is there's a highlight on the inner leg of this horse here on the front leg here, right in
Okay.
here. That's really important. That's a beautiful little thing because that separates out this front leg from the back leg. And having that anything near it and stuff sometimes just gets very confusing really quick.
Okay, I just smushed it.
You smushed it. Good. Oh, you smushed the whole thing?
No, just the leg.
Just the leg we smushed.
Yeah, get it over.
Good smush. You never, you got to have some smushing going in your painting. You do. Can't be a good painting without some good smushing going on.
Right.
Good girl.
Okay, well, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow then. Bye.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
All right. Very oily. Now I'm just gonna copy. You guys all see what Lynette did, so I can leave now. And you guys are on your own. What do we got left here? We got a little bit over an hour. I'm gonna go for a block in, and then we'll be done for today. What it's gonna be is just really putting in the colors. Starting with our darkest darks. Gonna go in with a big synthetic. The least of my problems is putting in the blue. That's the simplest thing. I want to use the least, kind of leave the blue back in here to come back and correct drawing mistakes. So we're going to start off again though with blue and just the way we made it, oxide red and blue. This is on the blue side, so it's really kind of strong. Not a ton of spots for it. You got little spots maybe in the leg here. I mean, coming up on the leg to separate out this horse and stuff coming down as a boot. Little things, and that's just getting the darks in. Just starting to put darks in dark, even though I might change it. Just getting them in at this beginning spot, before I get too far away into the leg and into some things here. It's always good. I love putting in this part because it just starts to tell me where where the shapes are off, and that's always a fun thing when you find out you did a halfway decent job of laying them in. That this shape, when you fill it in with color, is pretty close to what the shape should be. I go to the red side. When I get up here, definitely those creases go a little bit more towards the red side. Because that red will take you into a thing, take you into the crease or into the cuff of that hand, cuff the coat. It's good to get it in there. We got like I said, a lot of hairs from the beast going to come in here afterwards. So even if I'm off a little bit, we'll fix it up. Probably too dark for a few of these spots, but like I said, getting the structure in as fast as you can, because you really need that to hold the painting in place for the rest. No, I don't need anything around the hat yet. Might go around the neck here a little bit. The brim of that hat. I kind of forgot about that. Gonna bring it down a little bit, just a little more shading. All right. Any place else I can see that color? You know, that's the thing about this is a lot of the colors are a lot of brown, right? A lot of brown in this painting. Oh. I'm gonna leave it there for now. He's almost blocked in. That's pretty good. Or she. Uh, also, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to get, well, while I have that color, you know, I'll put in the creases in the coat, the duster here. Definitely when you come up here, definitely right in the elbow, you're gonna have 3 and one underneath. Up here in the shadow, the shoulder. That's it there. Everything else is just that. Okay. Anything else? A lot of everything else is pretty much there. So we're not going to go on too much farther there. There's this hill back in here. A couple pieces of this hill back in here. Definitely would be okay to put some of this in here, but I'm using just very light brush on it. You know, basically the color's already gone out of here. So I'm gonna keep this one a little lower. I kind of went a little high here. Starts to split the painting. So let's keep this one down here a little bit farther. Same thing there. Yeah, sometimes you start thinking, stop seeing. You start thinking, mountains are big and this should be really big. And all of a sudden you made it big. And if you really look at it, it's compared to where it lands in the painting, it's not that big. So I got to pay attention. So there's our first color. I'm going to go to our next color, which is the oxide, transparent oxide, and phthalo green. This, like I was thinking, some of these warm darks here might end up like right here in the shadow side. You're gonna need these really strong darks, and getting them in before you got any other paint in here to mix up the colors. Having it in full strength, and then you can dial it back if you need to. Getting it in really nice and strong at this point, and especially when you can get help the idea of the drawing. Usually I don't like to do a lot of this in between stuff like this early. I like to paint through things and things like that. But this is pretty bulky, and it's not like a too thin. It's not like a anything too much. So it's good to just get it in and out of the way. I can start to get the shadow, a little bit of a shadow underneath him, the horse's head. Push this over a little bit. I think I'm a little too close there, and I think I over painted this a little bit too much, but I'll find out I think right now, as I'm going here, that this face is thin. I always do this. I always think, yeah, it's very thin. So I paint it, going, God, I should go. This should be probably going to be heavier. I should probably going to go heavier. And every time I do that, it ends up needs to be thinner than what I was. Longer and thin. So it's like, oh, don't do it. Tell myself right now, don't do it. Just we'll catch it. We'll catch it if it needs to be. A little wider in the forehead, hair up here, a little wispy. Gonna paint it just a little bit on the brown side there. I should go a little bit more blue. Blue didn't even show up. So one of the things though, I'm not gonna do the reins or anything like that. I'm probably gonna end up moving this arm back or something. This arm's probably gonna end up being not running out of room right in here. So maybe I'll end up moving the horse's head over a little bit. We'll find out. I will move it inside a little bit more. Definitely, that angle just goes up a little bit. Just as markings here. They're right. We'll find out I missed a few things here. This leg could go out a little farther. This looks probably going to be a little thick. Get this out. I can push everything back a little bit. Okay. Definitely on the brown side, I'm just gonna touch the shadow areas a little bit, give them a little bit more dark, especially in this chest area into front leg. This is just a little bit of underpainting, but all these colors go in here anyway. It's not like I'm adding anything too crazy. I should be adding some greens and stuff like that, though. I'm gonna jump down here to oxide red and light oxide red and phthalo green. Not getting much color in at this stage, and just want to get a little bit more in. So I want to get some phthalo green into this knee here area, and going back into the leg, into where the whites are going to be. Same thing over here. Back leg doesn't get too much, but looks like it could be a little tighter too. I'll put in the shadow side. Definitely want to start to work it into the nose. So this is where I was saying I was going to put the green in, right in here in the one side here, the front and the part of the nose. And then just a little bit more on the red side. Still green, but still has some green to it into this part of the face. The red will come forward, the green will recede a little bit. On the forehead, I was thinking both, you know, a little bit both. But it will just be a more non-color type thing when I get the value in there, but just a little green yet. A little warmer in the nose. Let's keep it warm. Okay. Now we're starting to get horse colors. Might as well keep them going. Trying to put some weight here on that. And maybe even where the nostril is. It's that these little teeny brush, this big brush sometimes does some great things. So, not too much work around the eyes either yet. One of the things that, doing work around the eyes, sometimes I end up leaving clumps of paint there. And it always picks up light and reflects. So sometimes I have to go back and cut them out afterwards because they're not, the color's right, but the light's in there interfering and catching things. So. Okay, so that's pretty good. So we've gone through all those colors. I'm just a little green. I'm gonna put just a touch more green right here in this, right here, because I was thinking blue, but he has the blue in here in him. So let's dial that back. Make this guy a little red and green. It's like when I paint my golden compared to my English golden, English cream. He's more he has purples in the shadows where the regular golden, then will have a lot more green in his red coat. That's what I'm kind of picking up here too. even at this bottom stage. Definitely we can get the green in, and we're going to go red. Let's get some green in there to have some fun to play with. Okay, got a block in almost. Didn't even do anything. Okay. Gonna leave that there before I go. Gonna go to a smaller brush. Still can stay with the synthetic. Let's go to number 12. That was compared to my big brush. I like working big brush to little brush. Because I think it really adds to the painting. It just doesn't, you don't get too much of that the little brush coming in and screwing things up a little bit. I think this arm ends up being back in here. Now I look at it, pushes him back a little bit. Got to get all that hair coming in here. See, I tried to not do too much. I think that this arm's going to go back there a little bit, then down a little bit smaller. I didn't even get the coat in there. Got the leg coming out. Yeah. We'll see. All right, we're going to finish this up, get going here now. Let's get, I'm going to bring in a little tighter because we're just painting on the horse here. Not too worried about the background. Let me see if I can get this out of the way. There we go. And we'll just work on in this side. Let's work on the horse because I think this guy's going to be not too much. So we got some good colors in here. Let's see if this leather's in the right spot. I can start to feel it now. That original dark I put in here just kind of did, when you misput it in, let's misplace it a little bit. Yeah, got in a little heavy. All right. Made it a little bit too big here. Fill it. It's okay though. Good place to mess up early. So. All right. I'm going to go with these horse colors we made. And get those guys in. Maybe we'll get lucky and, find some other colors that go in here. Okay. I said that shadow and this our leg here have to be the same. So I'm pretty sure my legs here is probably over too far. There has to be more room here where that thing is because it's really going to come in here. So let's bring it back a little bit. See if that's right. All right, I got some good colors underneath. I got my green underneath, which is, I like having that in there. So, all right. Let's see where this goes. We're going to start off with our first color. This is our home value color. Basically, it's phthalo green and oxide red, light oxide red. with just a little bit of white on it. So I was seeing that coming in here in the chest on the outsides a little bit at the red side, and then maybe just a little bit on the side, this side a little bit. So might have to warm it up, but that's about it will do now. And then this back arm leg here, this there. Making sure I got the leg here. All right, almost done with one red. And this is the cooler one. Or no, wait, this is supposed to be the warmer one, right? Yeah, okay. It's still very cool. It's not a warm red yet. It's kind of a seeing such a mid-tone. Uh, see, you want to save the rich colors and stuff for your highlights on this guy, so you can, he sparkles. You want to give them away, and they're in these areas too much. I'm going to go with I'm working on the shadow side here, in here. So this is going to be a little bit more of the alizarins and phthalo greens and the blues of that color, side of that color on the green side, in here in the chest now. That was the alizarin. Did pretty good. It just, see, that was the blue side. That was just doesn't belong there. It belongs right here, a little closer to the knee. A little bit there, and then on this side I can use it a little bit on this guy's leg here. He'll push it back, and I got to warm that area up. On this side of the bit, I can keep it. Now it's got a little more red mixed into it. It's not quite as cool as that was. That tells me, though, it should be on the red side. That's close. Close. There it goes. Now you got found a spot here where there's no paint, so it's color starts to pop out of it a little bit. Okay. Said don't paint those ears, didn't I? Said don't paint those ears. Yeah, well. All right. Here we go. Now we're gonna get back in here. Get a little bit. Okay. Needs a little bit. Now I'm gonna see how chalky this feels. I know I probably can't tell. If it says chalky to you, feels chalky, that means it's not warm enough. That the color I put in there, most of it feels too cool for the area. So you need a warm to go in there. So come back in and put this line back in. I'll start to warm up that thing, take the coolness off it. it takes the thing. So what I'm using here is the transparent oxide. Oh, this is transparent oxide in blue. So just putting these guys back in at this level warms this whole area up. So I'm just going to just get that back in here into the neck, coming down to its bridle, I guess. See, when they're speckled like this, like Kim was talking about, yeah, it's a little tough to see get ready for that color coming in here. Because it kind of screws up the color here at this point because I'm looking at it and judging it as an overall color, and really it's tough to do because you got that white mixed in and grayed in. So it kind of, when you do that, that happens. I'm still thinking this might be too. I think this is probably going to find out. This is probably it. This is going to have to move down a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, it still feels cool. So now I'm going to come back and start putting in a little bit more warmth too now. This is the back to that home value where I put orange in, add orange. Yes. That will help out too. I'm going to take this color just to help me out. Take it all the way down here. That's going to help warm this whole area up. Keep it light up here. That's much better, it seems like. You start to get the volume. Okay, so I'm still here mixing up, touching paint over here on this side. Now I can go over here. Just give this a little light, rim light on my shoulder. Coming in and just so it's not the full strength as I'm putting over here. So it's always going to have a little thing there. I'm going to take, before I go any further, this is a brown oxide and blue. Except I just want to get a few good pushes in here in the snow, right by the snow where the snow's going, where the hoof's going to go. So if I can get this in. Okay. Just for this one spot here, it's going to be a lot of hair coming out of there, and it's always good to get the dark back there so this stuff will pop out a little bit, especially against that cool. Let's go up and do the face a little bit. I got that same color. I'm going to do his forehead a little bit. And we'll be outdone blocking it in. I'll go a little bit farther. See if I can get some things done. Figured out around the face here a little bit. What I'm also doing too is just studying color as I go. Saying, okay, that color, I see that color and go. And I look over there and I go, wow, that looks almost exactly like the duster color. So I got to make sure that this ear is going to be more red, warmer red. And then it's duster color. Okay, duster color. Back to the blue and the oxide, maybe. No, well, either one. It's not going to make any huge difference here. A little bit on the transparent oxide and blue side. Again, I just want to get these shoulders in right. Layer this, just warm this up a little bit. I think I even started off probably just in the wrong spot. Come down here to the boot a little bit. Boy, small feet. Gonna have to get those right. Finish that. Duster up back in here a little bit. It's only going to get like 2 colors. This duster just going to go to a light. You have that dark, and then we're just going to go pretty much the mid-tone here. Let me see if I could. Probably go a little lighter. I'm going to go light and put it in aggressively. Very aggressively, I mean, put it in one stroke like I mean it. This color here is transparent oxide. Oh, this is oxide. Oh, let me see this. Yeah. Okay, transparent oxide and blue. That's what you want. You want that brown. This is a red brown, and that is a blue green brown behind. So you have separation. It's 2 colors. I'm just playing with this side a little bit. Okay. Gonna paint the hat since I have this color. Gonna just go up transparent oxide blue on the brown transparent side. All right. Then when I come down a little bit to the shadower area of the hat, just go to the blue side right down in here. And we'll come back up a little bit. Usually in the right where the shadow is going to break. Back with the blue brown for the not too worried about this, but probably up too high. Cut it down when I paint it. Back end of the hat. There. Can leave a little bit of light. Yeah. Really light on that. Don't want to dig that into that yet. Let's paint his bridle a little bit. Like I said, keeping it dark and that into this one spot here. Okay, there's a little grayed out. There's a little white added to it. I can see if I can get a few marks in here that are right. It's just a touch warmer. Here. It's still too cool. And I put the orange, that horse color with the orange, just a little bit of orange in it, into that, into here. Probably could go a little lighter. That's also going to come right here. It's around the shoulder here. Come on down and feed back up, back in there, and then come in here a little bit. Let's see. Going with just a touch more red in the color for the farther back parts near the ear. Looks like just lost a little dark here. Values just went a little bit off. Okay, on the neck, that's not bad. Okay. Getting around the eye a little bit. He does have a light area around his eye area. And take this up. This is the orange. I just get a little mark for the ear here. Look at that orange around the muzzle. On the outside for the shadows. Okay. Get the warmth back in this bottom part of the nose here. And keep the cool area back. Okay. Mm. So we have the nose done. All right. I'm going to put some little purple gray. Let's see if I can get the right color here. I think it's a cooler purple here. A little more green in it. More white. Okay. Well, that's about it. Get that darks back in. Yeah, just a little cooler on one side, a little warmer right in the middle, and then you got this ochre put in right there. See, also going against the grain, I went down this way with the original one. Then I come back with against the grain, almost the same color, and it looks different. Looks like a lighter color. Some of those lighter ones I made. They are too light. touch them twice, 3 times if you need to, and push them into place. The area is just too dark. Sorry, talking to myself. It's going to lighten up the nose a little bit. More of that light oxide. What is this? Transparent oxide, sorry, in phthalo green. Now I'm going to try and just drag it straight up here. Not full strength, pretty softly, and see if I can lighten up the area up a little bit. Good. Try it again. Come back down the other way. Yes, a hair more green. There we go. I'll lighten up the mirror. That one I made with orange had orange in it and a lot of added orange to it. Just tone that down a little bit so it's not full strength. Work it back into this thing. Just tone that area down for it. Doesn't pop out so much. Take that highlight up just a hair higher. Touch of oil, just barely, and put it back in. Okay. So there we go. We're on our own way. Let's work a little bit here and then we'll be done. Since I got those colors, they're all set. You know, get the big stuff in. Just need a little light in lighter horse colors so I can get a little transition from here to the fur areas, to the hairy areas. So just get rid of the white on that. I'm going to go with more of a dark blue bandana. Maybe we can get it, kick it off to the side there, get a little more air. Look for that blue, a few other spots in the hair. All right, bristle brush. Just quick bristle brush. We're almost done with today. Got some basics in. Good things, but we'll get the legs done. Good, you know, just make sure my bristle brush is clean. So we got some darks down here. We're going to go with the next color in there. It needs a little more. I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow to this, I think. You see, I need a kind of a little bit of an orange in here. So just the skin tone, I just added just a little bit of yellow to it. I'm going to add just a touch more. Got to an orange here. Okay. So I can warm it up a little bit. Get the separation going. Okay, make sure I got some darks under behind there. And do the hair back in here too, probably a little bit. So a couple scratches back in here. Okay. Front here. Oh, this one spot right here just has a little bit of greenish cast to it. Right there on that thing. So that should help. I just need a little more contrast. There, warms. Okay. All right. And then just a little lighter, huh? More yellow orange. So this is just a little skin color with yellow in it. Get the basic shape and then I'll come back in and fix it. Too warm back there, but not bad. Spray it out a little bit. A little warmth top. Okay. Now go to some beiges I have here. Too bright. Should be 7, huh? Yeah. Jumped to 5 and it was too bright. So this whole area, too much. Keep it back there. Get the cool spots coming through. One little warm spot in the back hip. Okay. Then warm up the front. Or ochre and white. Gonna be a little more ochre. Yeah. Okay. I'll leave that there. Just come back and you can see how cool that was. That was not right. Warm it up a little bit and take it up here. Okay. A little bit of light. Again, I need a little bit more light. Just on that back leg there. In that area. So I'm thinking just to separate that out a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, we talked about adding some speckles to this horse so he's not so things. Definitely would be the time. Definitely would look at maybe just a value change of that first color, maybe just a little cooler without the uh, yellows and things in it. Just a, let's see what this is. This is a oxide red and phthalo green. So, and just putting it in a couple strokes of it in like this and then tapping it. That's about it. That's not too much more I would do. You might warm it up a little bit in spots. And definitely a bristle brush for this part. But that's about as far as I go. All right. That back leg could definitely use just a touch more warmth here and there. That's where that ochre and mix up comes in. And that last line on that horse, let's just see if I got it right. Okay. Well, I got you in here as close as I can go right now. Let's sort of clean a brush out here a little bit. Get a little bit of this phthalo green and alizarin back here. Purple grays. Goes back here on this mountain here a little bit. This is our giving it some body. I mean, it's really left over. Give us something to start to dig into. That's too dark. That needs to be a lot lighter. That's probably too late, but I do have a dark in here, so let's lighten it up anyway. This background going pretty quick. I'm gonna keep going a little faster. I figure there's gonna be a lot to do tomorrow. Cause I just always a lot to do. So take it a little bit farther than normal. Wait for my boys to come down and say, "Hey, we didn't get our walk." They'll hear that. So I got that color. I'm gonna go right to the blue. Just to start to see if I can get a feel for this painting. And find out how much paint I need to make up. Get going on the other side a little bit too. Well, hard to reach. See if it's color covered too. Now I'm going to come in with a little bit, the one without the little oxide in it. Put that in more in the middle. Work it back up a little bit. So at least I got this part done. I mean, this is a part where I think you guys are all pretty good at. We don't have, so I'm just gonna finish here. Come back tomorrow and put the snow in, put the things in, put fixes in. Really simple, huh? Gotta work on that face a lot. Just little things I can't do right now without getting in front of it. This area done. Looking for not, kind of hide some brush strokes so I don't have too many big clumps or giveaways where I was working, how, tight I got. I'll soften these edges too, probably. So there's some things that do need to be done there anyway. But I think the face looks pretty good on the horse color wise. I think there's a highlight missing in the darker patches, but that's one of those things you want to just make sure you have it right. I'm gonna add just a little gray to it. Tomorrow we should be able to get really far. We will try, as a warm up, we will be, working on the snow and back here. And then we should have our arms warmed up and eyes warmed up to see, and then we'll be able to move on pretty quickly. And if I need to make more paint. Edges, just smoosh them. Don't have to be perfect. As I'm there, I got this color here. I was using it for up there anyway, so it goes right there. Trying not to do too much without you guys, but anyway, I'm still here. You can see the tape. So if you're not there anymore. Let's get that last of that sky in there. Oh, purple blue cloud in the sky. I think I'm going to stop there because that's about as far as I go. Mountain here. Now, there's always save that sky because, you're going to come back at the end and probably put it in this. Anything farther back here, you're going to work it back in pretty strong, I think. I would think. So we got the face to finish, a few things, little lights put on, but we got a basic, really good block in. And sorry, and I can start to see things. Go in here and we'll see the horse's face a little bit more. Definitely that I wanted to have that strong line there. A lot of this is for my digital check here too, is that these strokes are very clean. The hat's clean, and the chest is pretty clean here. Just these markings. I need markings. I need road maps. Basically, they're going to help me get the roadmap done. So, what do we got left here? We got Lisa. Lisa stayed. That's only 3:30. I said right around 3 to 4, 3:30. Oh, good. I wonder my dogs usually come down at 3, so they should be down. I like alarm clocks. Lisa, what'd you get done?
Hang on. Let me get my camera going.
Everybody else ran out.
Everybody else ran out. I took a whole day off for this, so I'm staying to the end. I didn't get everything done. Mine, I don't
Let's
know.
see.
I've got horrible lighting right here where I've got this computer set up.
That's
So
okay. That's
it
okay.
looks, the sky looks a lot more purple now, I think, than it really is.
Oh,
Um,
there you go. There you
that might
go.
be a little bit better.
Right,
Um,
right.
and I know my background there, the mountain things have a little bit too much green in them right now. A lot
Just
too much green in them.
just a hair. That's the only way sometimes you find out. It's just by putting it down. Yeah, I ended up going with the purple side almost on the mountains back there with
Yeah,
the alizarin and then probably yeah, and maybe a value later probably, but that's about it.
yeah,
You know, good job on the horse. So I can start to see the horse's face
yeah,
and stuff. That's going to be fun. And I can see it's well drawn. I can see the legs coming through there. Nice. And then the rider back there he feels good. Congrats.
okay.
Yeah, you're in a pretty doggone good spot. I think that's gonna be fun.
I'm looking forward to finishing it. I'm not gonna be able to join you guys tomorrow because I'll be working again, but I
Yeah.
am gonna finish it up and hopefully be able to post it soon. So, but I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Oh man, you do such a nice job.
Well,
Congrats.
I have I even I'll show you one that I'm starting that
Okay.
is not part of the class, but I went bold and I don't know if you can see the drawing on it, but it's a barrel racer. And
Oh, I can see a horse's head with the dots and the
yeah,
eyes, and then the hat.
yeah, you've given me the inspiration to start more Western type of things instead of just portrait type of things. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that too. So
You should.
yeah.
That's it's a very, very rich area for
Well,
sale.
and I am I've got people that are wanting acrylic commissions that I've been working on. So I've kind of been working on that and haven't had really a lot of time for the oils and everything, but
Yeah.
I want to keep it up and keep working on it. So I
You
do
can
appreciate it.
you can go both ways, I hear.
Oh yeah.
Acrylic and oils.
Yeah, yep. But I do appreciate it. I look forward to seeing tomorrow's and finishing it out. So
Great. Thank you. Yes, we will be definitely I'll be finishing it up, going through this last of the stages. I can't guarantee I'll be all the way done but I will definitely have the snow in, trees back in, and these guys figured out. And then there's always those little teeny touches that
yeah,
they always take a little while to figure out, but it's not too many, I don't think.
okay.
It's snow. That's the nice thing. It's kind of clean. You don't have a lot of other leaves and
Yeah,
things like that to worry about. So everything's kind of cut out.
yep. So
So good.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
No problem, Lisa. Thank
I,
you.
I'm gonna get ready. Like you said, my guys are gonna want something to eat after they take their little walk in the round. So
Yeah.
I better get going because we're an hour uh
Earlier.
earlier than you guys are. So
Yeah.
it's going on 5 here. So
All right. We will leave you
4:30.
alone then.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye,
See you
Lisa.
later.